Welcome back, everyone. If you're a student heading off to college or a university, you know the cost can rack up quickly, but there is help in the form of financial aid, money that's given to students who may need the assistance. This morning, Jael Garcia with the University of Texas Pan American is here to discuss what it is we need to do with that money. Jael, thank you so much for joining us today. And like we were talking about earlier, financial aid is out there for students. First step is the FAFSA, right?
Right, that is correct. The process begins by filling out the free application for federal student aid, or better known as FAFSA. From there, though, however, it is important for students to keep in mind that they do have to check up with the college or university that they're applying to, just to see if there's any additional documents that the financial aid office will ask of them.
And the FAFSA is more on the government level, right? It's required by the government if you are seeking assistance, not so much the university, but the university also kind of plays a role in that, right?
Right, that is correct. And even though it's for federal aid, mostly, most colleges and universities will use it for all their aid, including their institutional and of course the state aid as well.
Financial aid, once you apply, how long can you expect before you actually get any money, or before you get word back that you are eligible for any money?
Well, the financial aid process, usually before a student is awarded any kind of financial aid, they also have to be admitted to the institution. So that's also an important process that students need to check up on their admission status, because if they're not returning students, they cannot be offered aid unless they're also admitted to that institution. So then that's one thing. And then also it's important for students, so usually if the student is already admitted to the institution and they apply for financial aid, it takes probably about a week for the institution to receive this information. And as long as the student is not selected to be required to bring any additional documentation, then usually about 2 weeks or so is more or less when the student will receive a response from the university about their financial aid package.
And Jael, let's say, okay, everything goes through and the student is awarded that money. Once they get that money, it just goes in as a lump sum into a bank account. The student, what do they need to do to kind of manage this money?
Right, it's important. Most institutions, after the financial aid has paid for their tuition and fees and any dorm charges if the student is staying in school housing, the money is sent to the student directly. It's important for the students to keep in mind that that money, however, is supposed to be for the whole semester. You know, most of the time they're not going to receive any additional money in the middle of the semester or towards the end of the semester.
So they need to know how to budget that money.
Exactly.
Because once they're out, they have to wait a whole semester, right?
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Because that money is supposed to help them with other expenses such as food, gas, etc.
For college.
Right, exactly.
All right. Hopefully all these students will put all that advice to good use. Jael, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we will be right back.